Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We're going to be having demo number 2 today on Azure Data Engineering. So, in the Azure Data Engineering, we are going to be having two topics. One is called Azure Data Factory. So, it is going to be taking 30 hours to complete it. And we are going to be having one more topic called Azure Data Bricks. Clear? So both of them are completely ETL tools. This is also ETL tool. You can extract the data, transform the data, load the data. It is also one more ETL tool. It can also perform, extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. So Azure Data Factory is more, similar to your SSIS. Clear? So if you know MSBI, SSIS, so it is on-premises ETL tool. What is on-premises? What is a cloud? In yesterday's class, I have clearly explained. Please watch that video. Okay. So SSIS is released in year 2005 and cloud is released. So cloud technologies are released in a 2010. Azure I'm talking about. So ADF is released in year 2015. ADF is released 2015. The problem with the SSIS is that it is a ETL tool just like Informatica or a data stage. All of them are the on-premises ETL tools. On-premises means you need to install the software. You need to install the software, you need to purchase the software, and you need to have a computer, and all of them you need to have on your own. That is what is called on premises. So when you come down to Azure or ADF, you need not install the software. There is no need of install anything here. Simply you go open your, you create one account in Azure portal so that you will be able to use Azure credentials. Clear? Azure has a lot of applications. One of the application is called, this is ETL application. This is released in 2015. Azure is, started in 2010. Forget about 2010. So it is there. So why we are not able to use SSIS? Because SSIS is 2005. So it cannot communicate to the cloud because the cloud is released 2010 and ADF is released 2015. SSIS cannot talk to the cloud and SSIS cannot deal with the big amount of data, large amount of unstructured data, semi-structured data, because even big data, we're talking about structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data, right? So SSIS is more towards your structured data. SSIS is on-premises ETL tool, more so towards your structured data. If you have a unstructured data, semi-structured data, for example, images, audio files, video files, your charts, your news, right? Streamline data. Every 5 minutes, I need to get some data and I wanted to load the data. So SSIS will fail. Clear? And SSIS is also cannot talk to many cloud connections. Clear? That was the reason Microsoft has to introduce one more ETL tool, extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. The tool is called a cloud tool, which is there inside your Azure. So it is a cloud means you need not install anything. So what you can do, you will be able to get the data, you will be able to transform the data, you will be able to load the data. So what is ETL? ETL means simply all companies may not have the data in a single place. You think about Amazon company, you think about State Bank of India, they will be having a lot of branches all over the world. Amazon is running the business all over the world. They don't have the data in a single premise, or they don't have the data in a single location, or they don't have the data maybe in uncleaned data, or different varieties of data they have it. So if you wanted to run either AI or BI, what do you mean by I wanted to perform machine learning algorithms, or I wanted to run BI applications, like I would like to create a lot of reports, right? So if I wanted to do what I should do, I need to get the data from here. It may be Amazon data, maybe in SAP system, maybe in US. So this may be Amazon SQL database, maybe in India. It may be Amazon, data, maybe in Excel sheet, right? All this data, Amazon data coming from different locations, different environments. I need to get the data. And earlier we were using SSIS. Earlier we were using SSIS. We will be able to load the data to some destinations, right? So some destination, the destination was earlier data warehousing earlier. So that was a story. So we knew already. Let me simply, draw this picture so that you will be able to understand it clearly. Why ETL? Somebody ask you. So you have the, let me take one case study. I'm talking about Amazon company. Amazon company doesn't have the data in a single location. Amazon company doesn't have the data in a single environment. Amazon company doesn't have cleaned data also. So what is the data they have? They have Amazon sales data, some of the data in SAP, it may be there in US, but it is Amazon company's data. Some of the data may be in SQL and maybe in India, right? Some of the data may be in Excel or maybe in text files, right? Maybe it is coming from, let us say, Dubai. So all this data belong to Amazon company. So what I need to do, I need to integrate the data from all these places, right? I need to get the data because if I'm keeping some data here, if I'm keeping some data in India, if I'm keeping some data in here, it will be problem, right? So what normally companies are going to be doing, they will be able to get the data from all these places, and they are going to be cleaning the data and centralizing the data. So what normally we used to do, we used to get lot of ETL tools. Earlier, what was the ETL tool that we were using? We were using extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. SSIS was the ETL tool that we were using it. So SSIS is released in year 2005. So you can extract the data, you can read the data from here, get the data, and we are going to be cleaning the data, and all the data is going to be loading into a data warehouse. Okay, so what is a data warehouse? How data warehouse is going to be created? So let me give you a brief introduction, but you will be able to understand this later. So data warehouse, so people can use this, and it is going to be large hardware. So large hardware. Inside that, what software we're going to be installing? We are going to be installing SQL software. Clear? Yesterday, I was talking about IT industry is going to be, storing the data either in Excel or in SQL or in data warehousing and or in, I told you Hadoop. That is what I told you. When you have a large amount of data, as I told you yesterday, so it can also store the data in different places. That was a story yesterday I was talking about, right? So where is that? So that is not here. So as we discussed yesterday, when you have a small amount of data, megabyte of data every month, if you get 10,000 rows or 1,000 rows every month, where are we storing all the data? All the data is going to be stored in your Excel sheet normally. That is what is the story I have told you. You will be able to store them here, and you will be able to process them. Process them means I wanted to know what is the total and everything, right? But when you get gigabytes of data, GBs of data, for example, every month you're getting lakhs and millions of data. So think about Amazon.com. Every month you will be able to get, let us say, 50,000 rows, or sorry, 5 million data, 20 million data, 30 million data. That kind of a data you will not be able to store in Excel. We have to use SQL, or called as a database management system. It is also called as a RDBMS tools or softwares, only for the storing data. But who's going to be processing the data? Processing means I have a large amount of data. I wanted to know what is the total, what is the sum, what is the minimum. So I wanted to process the data. So processing will be done by so a language. Okay, processing will be done by the language. So that is what is the point here. So languages are going to be used for the processing your data. Processing means I wanted to know what is the total sum. What are the SQL tools which are available? Popular tool is called Oracle database or Oracle SQL or Microsoft SQL Server. It is a Microsoft brand. All of them are called SQL softwares or DB2, Database 2000 or Netiza. It is also from IBM company and it is also from IBM company. All these are SQL softwares. Clear? So you can take one of the software, you can install it, you will be able to store your data. Clear? So this was a story earlier. So any software you can install in your computer and you will be able to store your data. So Amazon data, State Bank of India data, or we're talking about Walmart company data, any data, we can store them in the Oracle or SQL Server. All these can store large amount of data, especially gigabytes of data. Clear? But every month you're getting 500 GB of data per month into 12 months of data I wanted to store. It will become 6000 GB of data. When you convert into terabytes, it will become terabyte of data for 1 year. I'm talking about. If you're talking about 10 years of data, 6 terabytes into 10 years, it will become 60 terabytes of data. So now I'm talking about every month company, Amazon company is giving you, let us say 500 GB of data, but 12 months data, I wanted to keep it. So it will become 6 terabytes of data and 10 years, 20 years data, I wanted to have it will become 60 terabytes of data for 10 years. So this much of a data, you will not be able to store them in your simple RDBMS or simple your SQL. So we are talking about now billions of data. Clear? So we are talking about crores of data. 1 crore is equivalent to 100, 1 billion is equivalent to 100 crores. So this much of a data, you will not be able to store them in your, what do you say, SQL or RDBMS. This is where we
Sir,
are going to be. Yeah, ask me.
a small
Using
question, sir.
data warehousing tools. Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, as you're saying, SQL and RDMS come not handle that much of data, but real time there would be a kind of archives process also, right? So, after 2 years or 3 years
I'll
of
be coming to
data,
the point. Whatever you're
okay,
asking, I'm coming to the point.
okay,
Okay. So he says, so I am getting now billions of data, trillions of data. This is where we have a too much of a data. So I told you SQL and RDBMS is going to be storing up to this much of a data. But here we are not going to be using only SQL here. So data warehouse means what? If you understand carefully, data warehouse is also SQL only. But what is the difference between this SQL, these these things and these things? So here we are going to be having large hardware. Only that is a difference. Okay. For example, I'm going to be talking about I have a my laptop. So what is my laptop, configuration? I have 1 terabyte of hard disk and 4 GB of RAM. I have i5 processor, right? So this is my hardware configuration. If I install SQL means any software you can install, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, Netiza, Postgre, anything you can install. So let me talk. I have installed Oracle. SQL means Oracle I have installed. If I store the data here, if somebody is storing the data in SQL Oracle, what is the maximum data I can store? 1 terabyte only. The problem is not with the SQL, the problem with the hardware. Okay. Now I will take one more computer with 100 or 1000 or 100 terabyte of hard disk. Let me have 1000 GB of RAM. And here I'm going to be having, let us say, 100 processors, not only one or two processors, 100 processors. I am installing same Oracle here. Now tell me, this is also SQL and this is also SQL in this hardware. So how much data you can store now? You can store up to 100 terabyte of data. This is a large hardware. Software wise, same Oracle or SQL Server Teradata we can use, but this kind of a configuration when you have, this is also SQL, this kind of a configuration, this kind of a computer is called as a data warehousing machines. Am I clear, Sham? So it is also SQL, but in the bigger hardware. Okay.
So yes, sir. So just question was like, even we have archive process, right? We can store only 2 years of data or 3 years of data. Then later we can archive the data which are old data. So even companies are also following nowadays. But why we need to keep that much of data in our and maintain that thing like a millions and trillions of data? So why we are that much into keeping of huge data? So even we can finish off like a 6 months of data. Few companies maintain only like example player registrations, like where they play online gaming. So that doesn't make any sense after 6 months who play register. It depends on company policies, sir. So in that way, I was having questions. Sorry.
So very good question you're talking about. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. So, very good question, Sham is asking. See, the companies are storing, every month data, and every month data, maybe 500 GB of data or 600 GB of data. So the data every month you're going to be taking from these machines, and you're going to be accumulating in the data warehousing. Why we should accumulate? Why is that we need to keep old data, historical data in the data warehousing? Why we cannot throw the data? If you throw the data, you will not be able to perform data analytics, or you will not be able to perform what is called as a machine learning algorithm. So if you wanted to analyze the data, so every month you're getting small amount of data, every month you're going to be getting the data. It may be 1 year data. Like that, every month you're going to be getting the data. This is one more year of data. Like that, you're going to be getting large amount of data. So one is that, let me throw all the data, let me keep last 1 year, 2 years data, forget about remaining data. That is one thing that you can do. But if you delete completely old data, and if you're only maintaining last 1 year data, 2 years data, now the company cannot analyze. The company wanted to know last 10 years, how is the growth of my company? So I will not be able to analyze. Clear? So that is what is called, we're talking about business intelligence, or it is also called as a data analytics. So if you wanted to analyze, you need to have complete data and historical data you have. So when you have last 1 year data or last 3 years data, if you're only maintaining in a single server, and maximum you can analyze up to 1 year or 3 years. But company wanted to analyze last 20 years of data, how my company is doing. Last 5 years, how the sales of Apple iPhone, or last 15 years, how the sales in India. So that I wanted to analyze. If you don't maintain the history, if you don't maintain the history somewhere, then definitely it will not be able to get the proper analysis. Clear? That is the reason we don't analyze the data. We don't keep small amount of data. We are going to be taking this data and dumping into large hardware called data warehousing. So on this data only, we will be able to perform data analytics. So on this only, we are going to be doing AIRML applications. Clear? So data analytics or business intelligence or artificial intelligence or machine learning, both of them needs large amount of historical data. Otherwise, so you go to your ICICI bank, you have opened an account there last 1 year. So what is that you ask? You ask what is my balance, right? That is the relevant question as an end user you ask. Right. So I wanted to know, I am also one more end user in ICICI Bank. So what is the question I ask? Last 3 months, I would like to report, or tell me 1 month report, or give me last 1 year of banking transactions. So that is the question you're going to be asking in this kind of a small amount of data. But all the data the company is taking and the company is going to be storing, because every month data 500 GB, all the data it is pulling from here, it is going to be storing it here in the data warehousing. So what kind of a questions as a CEO of the company I'm going to be, asking, I wanted to know last 5 years, how the loans, profit in the loans level, I wanted to have city-wise profits. We are giving a lot of home loans, we are giving a lot of, house loans, home loans, personal loans, gold loans, motor loans, auto loans. What is the profit I wanted to know year by year, month by month, city by city, last 10 years of data. So this kind of a question a customer will not ask. Right, because customer wanted to know what is my balance, but as a CEO of the company, I wanted to improve my loans business. So I wanted to get the last 10 years of the loans data, that is historical data that is there in the bank. One is that I can delete, but I don't delete the data. I advise my company to store all the historical loan data in the data warehousing. So all the CFO managers, all the people can analyze the data. Clear? To analyze the data, normally we're going to be using a data warehousing. So not only analyzing, so taking the historical data with the help of AI and ML, we will be able to do lot of predictions as well. Right? So AI and BA can understand the past. So business intelligence or the data analytics means understanding the past. I wanted to know what was the profit loss of 10 years, year wise, month wise, branch wise. I need a report. So normally understanding the past is called data analytics or business intelligence. Right. So on this data, I wanted to predict, future predictions I wanted to do. So that is what is called machine learning, or that is what is called artificial intelligence. I wanted to know what will be my profits next 5 years in India, year wise, month wise, different products wise. I wanted to predict. So to do the predictions, I need to have the historical data. For example, I wanted to understand in the next year, June, whether Hyderabad gets rain or not. I would like to predict. I don't know. This year, so the June is already there. Now we're in June 10th. The rains are started. Like that, I have lost 10 years of data. So when you have a lost 10 years of data in 1 year, first year, let us say 2010, there is a rain. And next year also there is rain. So in 1 year, there is no rain. Like that, I have last 10 years of data, rain, 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 rain. I have like that. So on that, only 2 times there is no rain in the June. Now, this historical data of Hyderabad is going to be stored in the data warehouse. Let us think like that. Now, what is the prediction I wanted to do? Next year, June, will I get rain or not? How do I know? I'll go to the past history for 10, 20 years. So I will be able to see 2 times only there is no rain. So I'll say 80% of chances are there you will get a rain, and 20% of the chance is there you don't get a rain. That prediction, it can tell you how artificial intelligence is going to be telling you. It can take the data, perform some kind of a analysis on this, and it can tell you definitely there is 80% chances are there you will be able to get the rain in the next month, June. So that is what you got to understand. So whether you wanted to predict something, or what was the last 10 years rain, that is the thing I wanted to understand. In that, we'll say 80%, 8 times there was a rain, 2 times there is no rain. That was understanding the past. Clear? So both of them needs historical data of the company. So the historical data is going to be stored where? In your data warehousing only. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. I understood. It depends on company decisions and
Correct.
place data. So whether to archive or they need to maintain historical for 10 years or 15 years. But
Correct.
most of them will store only for 5 years. So it depends on their data.
No,
Okay.
most of them will not store 5 years. If you take IPL match data, you will have the data from 1960s onwards. Clear? If you take railways data, 1960s, 1970s, it is there. If you take, mainframe data, banking data earlier. So the complete data of Citibank, even today it is there. So people are
Mhm.
going to be maintaining the data in different varieties
Why,
because
why,
it,
why, why, sir? Why they want to maintain 20 years and 30 years of data, like that much huge data, and why they want to analysis already? They would be suppose they have been checked the statistics last year, and they would be having a report, right? Example, and these report will not change for last year, last 2 years to these 2 years. So they can just compensate with last 2 years and present data that can be happened, right? Just checking. Else they need complete information again to report the data because data needs to be there to perform reports in that. Just checking, sir. Sorry.
see, that is also one kind of a thing. If you have last 2 years of data, for example, I take the complete aggregation of last 2 years of data, then I wanted to include this year data. That is also fine. The problem is if you lose the original data tomorrow, I wanted to do one more prediction, or I wanted to do one more, let us say, one more analytics. I need to do it. So when you take raw data and aggregate it, you throw the old data, you're keeping only aggregated data. Now, what happens if I wanted to do some other prediction, some other analytics? I need the raw data, not the aggregated data. For example, you have a tomato, raw tomato. If you have it, you can use as it is. But you have raw tomato, you have created, let us say, some sauce, right? You don't have the raw tomato. If you wanted to use the sauce, that is fine. But I wanted to use the raw tomato to make some flavor using a raw tomato for the garnishing purpose. Now, can you use the sauce? I cannot use it, right?
No, no.
So that means what? If I take the raw data, so I will analyze and I'll keep the data. So it is not guaranteed that you ask the same question every time, right? So you will
Yes, sir.
ask a lot of different varieties of questions. For that, maintaining the raw data will be easy instead of maintaining the aggregated data. Clear? We don't know what kind of a question it comes later.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the reason nobody, will remove the raw data. They will be maintaining more data. Why they'll maintain? Because hardware is cheaper today.
Okay.
Clear? Otherwise, they wouldn't have maintained. If it is crores of rupees, then people will say, why to waste the data? Whatever you're thinking, the same thing would have been happened. Clear?
Correct.
So hardware is cheaper today, and they don't want to do. If you have raw data, you can use however you would like to use it. Predictions and everything can be done in different manner also. Clear? That is the reason. Very good. So that is how the data warehousing is implemented. We will be able to store large amount of data in the data warehousing, but the story is not going to be stopped here. So when you have a this much of a data, BA tools being introduced. So earlier we were using languages like C++, Java, .NET. But today we were using a lot of BA tools to process the data, creating reports and everything like SAP BA, SaaS BA. And the story does not end here. So every month you're getting GBs of data, it will become terabytes. Now, this was a story from, the computers have been started from 1960s to till 2000. This was a story people are talking about. They are getting the data up to terabytes maximum, more data towards structured data. Structured means more data towards the tables. Table means rows and columns data. You create a table, you store the data. So more data is available in the structured format, and this kind of a data is called as a maximum time. It is a business data, business sales data, business marketing data, all the data. So business data only people were talking about. The era is changed after year 2000. Clear? After year 2000, what is happened? So after year, so what is happened? Now you will be able to got lot of internet is enabled all over the world, and hardware is becoming cheaper. Hardware becoming cheaper, and guys, can you hear me? and social media. Clear? Year 2000 onwards, what has happened? It is hardware become cheaper. So people started using a lot of computers, buying the computers, and the social media is enabled, and everybody using a lot of devices, and because of internet, what has happened? Year 2000 onwards, not only structured data not only structured data but also lot of chart. When you do the charting in the WhatsApp, or when you give a feedback in Amazon.com, or when you go to Facebook and chat with me, so lot of chart data, right? Lot of messages data, it is kind of a, and lot of photos, pics, and lot of audios data, lot of videos data got created. Clear? So we have structured data, and after that we have a lot of unstructured data. So this is what is called unstructured data, or it is also called as a semi-structured data got created. So charts, you whenever you chart, you and me will be charting together. But what is the data? For example, news article. So lot of online newspapers are getting released. That is not a structure, right? Online news is unstructured data. Clear? Or a lot of messages, pics, audio files, video files. So all the data is more and more and more. So this kind of a data, we will not be able to store them in the SQL or in the Excel, because it is completely structured data. Completely structured data. Now, this is the era. It is got started year 2000 onwards. Now, not only structured data, you have unstructured data, semi-structured data. That is only 30% of the data is there in the whole industry, and more, 70 to 80% of the data. This is the data. Clear? So when you take the entire globe data, when you see 30% of the data only structured data. So this data can go to normal database, or this data can go to a large database. The large database is data warehouse, right? People can store only 30% data in normal SQL, small devices, or you can store. But what about remaining 70% data? It is unstructured data and semi-structured data. We don't know how to store the data. So this is what the problem is started. So then the data warehousing concept cannot do anything here. So immediately in year 2003, so people started thinking about what can we do with this kind of a data. And the size is also very big data. We're talking about a petabyte, a zettabyte, a yottabyte, but here the data in gigabytes and maximum terabytes only. So here there is no issue. There is a solution already implemented. Data warehousing concept is implemented in 1990s. It is there. There is no issue at all. So people were able to target this. So 60s onwards we have computers, and 1970 SQL is started. Right? So they're able to store structured data very neatly. And when you have a more and more data, in 1990s, data warehousing is invented in the IT industry. People were able to store the data in the large computers. That is fine. So this is completely working fine. On this, we are doing a lot of data analytics. Okay, so this kind of a data analytics is called as a business intelligence. When you take the structured data and when you analyze the data, this kind of a data is called as a business intelligence or data analytics. Now I have a lot of unstructured data, I have a lot of semi-structured data. Now, where should I store? And normal data warehouse can accommodate only terabytes of data. It cannot grow beyond also. When you have this kind of a data, IT industry does not have any software or hardware to store or to handle this kind of a data. So this was the problem identified the Google in the year 2003. Okay, IT industry given very good solution to store normal data and create a reporting, data analytics. Everything can be done with the data warehousing. It is there since 1990s itself. But when after 10 years, when year 2000 comes, the complete global requirements have been modified. Now you're not getting more business data, you're getting more and more data. This was the thing, first observed by the Google company in year 2003. They have given a good name to this kind of unstructured data or semi-structured data, maybe structured data also. They have given, when you have a large amount of data, now they have given a very good name to this data. This name is called big data. Clear? So big data concept or the name given by Google company in year 2003, they told we have a lot of unstructured data, semi-structured data, but we have a petabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte of data. This is called as unlimited data. And where do you store? Forget about how do you store. They have given a name called big data. Now, how do we store big data? So that was the question got into Google company year 2003. So if you wanted to store the big data, how to store? Okay. If I have terabytes of data, I may be able to go it. But if I have petabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte of data, how do you store? What are the things I need to, what is the hardware configuration, what is the software configuration, how to process the data, all of them you need to do, right? So that is the reason. So this people have created a big data, or a paper, and they have released in the market, right? So by taking that concept, there is a company called Apache Software Foundation. Apache Software Foundation, APACHE. So in 2006, they released a big data Hadoop software. Clear? So it is going to be talking about how do you store the data? How do you process the data? So this was a story in the internet. So after year 2000, when you have a petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, yottabyte of data. So this kind of a data is called as a big data. So this was a story, after 2000. Clear? So that was a story I'm talking about after year 2000. So unstructured data, semi-structured data, how do we store? This name is also called as a big data, large amount of data. So this will be stored in a computer called Hadoop. So Hadoop is released in year 2006, and which can store large amount of data, which can also process the data. Because when the size is increased, you will not be able to process easily, right? If I have 10 numbers, I can use it very, very easily. If I have 1,000 numbers, I use the calculator. If I have 10,000 numbers, I can use the, let us say, one Excel sheet. But if I have trillions and billions and trillions of data, normal data processing cannot be happen. However, you're doing earlier with the data warehousing and BI tools, right? So now people started using Hadoop, but Hadoop is released in the year 2006 in the market, or early 2007. So many people, storing the data and analyzing the data. So here also you can do data analytics. Clear? People were storing the data in the Hadoop systems. Now Hadoop is problem because it is going to be using Java. Many people started telling, hey, I know SQL, but I do not know Java. Java is too much of a coding. How do I learn Java? So Java, then Hadoop people said, you don't learn Java, you learn something else. They have created lot of things. They have implemented Hive. They have implemented a pig. Very simple languages. So people were using, and somehow they were able to doing data analytics and everything. Pig, everything is there. Clear? So large amount of data getting accumulated, large amount of data getting accumulated, but this was a slow. This was slow earlier. So then it was storing all the data. So large amount of data means computer will be to store all the data. It is going to be stored in the hard disk. Clear? If you have petabyte, zettabyte of data, where will you store? In the disk. Because of that, it is slow disk and lot of coding people used to write. Okay. And one more problem with the Hadoop is that it cannot, Java program is for the web development. It is not for the data analytics purpose. So we cannot use Java. You will not be able to create data analytics very, very easily. So difficult to implement data analytics. difficulty to implement data analytics, and that is also biggest issue, and slow disk, and it is going to be storing the data into the disk coding. So people again started, okay, Hadoop somewhat we're able to store the data, but what next? That is the question they asked. What next? This is not the story. And in year 2014, there's this new framework got released, Spark and Scala. Clear? So this is the, instead of a Hadoop, people started using Spark and Scala. It is going to, it is released in the year 2005. So here you can store the data, you can process the data. Okay. So which is 30 times faster. How many times faster? It is 30 times faster than your Hadoop system to be, handle the big data. Big data means towards more amount of what, Nana? More amount of unstructured data, semi-structured data. Remember that point forever. Less amount of structured data. For the structured data, anyhow you have a data warehouse. So Spark and Scala is not a Java. So earlier, what coding we are using? Java coding here, right? So here they have removed Java, so it is a faster than no Java here. So Scala got implemented. Scala language, however, Java language. So Scala language got implemented. It is very easy when you compare with the Java. So Java is gone. Scala language is introduced, and which is very, very simple. So that is the one thing, and this is going to be storing the data not in your hard disk. It's going to be putting the data into the RAM. Because of that only, if you store anything in the hard disk, you will become slow. If you store anything in the RAM, you will be faster. So today, entire IT industry stopped using, Hadoop. Hadoop is replaced with the Spark and the Scala. Clear? When? In 2014. Clear? So 30 times faster Scala language is implemented, which is easier than the Java. Why should I learn Java if I wanted to deal with this? Right? So SQL, anyhow, data means SQL will be there, but much of the program you need to learn. So anyhow, SQL also we can use it here. There's no problem. Data means SQL will be there, because big data means it is structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Structured data means that is SQL, SQL. Unstructured data, semi-structured data means you need to write the Java coding, you need to write the Scala coding here. Scala's coding is easy and very much good. So it became so popular in this. Okay, it is easy when you compare with that. And today, Spark and Scala is also, taken by one more. The latest technology is called Databricks. Okay, so what is a Databricks? If somebody asks you, it is nothing but a Spark and a Scala only. Okay, but they have given some more extra features in this. So many people are started using this. This is implemented by Mr. Ali Godse. Ali Godse implemented this. So it can handle very good amount of data, and they have given lot many good things for the data analytics. End of the day, why are you storing the data? Two things: data analytics and artificial intelligence. Data means only two things can do. So either you can use Spark and Scala, or you can use the Databricks. Databricks is internally is going to be using Spark and Scala only. Remember that. So Databricks is the concept became worldwide so popular. The same concept now implemented where? Implemented in Azure and implemented in AWS. So Databricks is not a Microsoft concept, or it is not a Azure concept. Clear? So when you use Azure with Databricks, so it will become Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks means it can handle big amount of data. So behind the scenes, we are going to be having Spark and Scala. So why Databricks is used? Because Databricks will have the more easy way to perform the activities on the data than when you take the Spark and Scala. For example, I wanted to book a train ticket. I can go to railway station and book a ticket. I can go to counter and book a ticket, or I can go online and book a ticket. So instead of that, I can go to agent and book a ticket. I will go to agent. Why you will go to agent? You tell me. Even though you can go to online and book a ticket, you can go to railway station and book a ticket, but why agent? Because agent will take care and he will ensure you that 90% of the chances, you will get a train ticket. Otherwise, if you go to railway station or if you try online, you may not be able to get it the ticket. So what normally we do, even though everything is available to us, we don't go to Spark and Scala, we don't go to Hadoop, we will be able to go to agent and book the ticket because agent is more efficient than we are booking ticket. So that is the reason, if you have a large amount of data, we don't directly go to Spark and Scala and store it. We say, "Arey yaar, let us implement Databricks." So when you say Azure Databricks, it's going to be implementing Spark and Scala inside that. So it is going to be, we are learning in the Databricks Spark language, sorry, Scala language, and SQL. Anyhow, you need to learn. If you wanted to write in scripting, we are going to be using SQL here. We can use Scala, Python. Even Python is also can be used. Clear? So Python also can be used. So these are the things that you need to learn. End of the day, if you wanted to get the data, this was a story. So now I go. So if you have structured data, you will be able to store the data into the data warehousing. So earlier we were using SSIS and everything. Now big data concept is released. So big data concept is released. So all this data is a compulsorily structured data. Then only SSIS can work. SSIS released in year 2005, it can manage all the structured data. So what if Amazon company or social media data, Amazon company wanted to get its feedback, products feedback, Amazon wanted to get it. Where is the product feedback? It may be there in Amazon, it may be there in, let us say, Google, it may be there in, Facebook, it may be there in somewhere else. So I wanted to get the social media data. Clear? If I wanted to get the social media data, what will fail? Social media data, it is more amount of data. I have it here. So I have a lot of Twitters, a lot of, Twitter data. I want to get Facebook data. This kind of a data, I am going to be talking, this data is called as a social media data, unstructured data. Right? Amazon company wanted to deal with unstructured data, semi-structured data. Structured data, SSIS can handle, there is no issue. You can store the data here. But unstructured data, where should I keep it? So SSIS also cannot deal. So what I should do, I have to implement. So there is one more ETL tool, that is what is called ADF. Clear? One more, ETL tool got introduced, ADF Azure Data Factory. So this data, can I store in the data warehouse? Because it's social media unstructured data. So I cannot store it here. So I will be able to have one more. So what is that I can use? I can use, so either Hadoop I can use, so big data. So big data simply, I will be able to use big data and I will be able to use Spark, Scala, Databricks, anything you will be able to use it. You will be able to get the data, store the data. Big data is going to be used to store the data and normal SSIS is going to be failing. Normal SSIS is going to be failing because SSIS can get the data like this. It cannot, talk to social media and in this kind of data, it will not be able to get it, and SSIS cannot load the data into your data, cloud, big data, or maybe it may be cloud also. What is a cloud? Yesterday I told you, right? So you just remember. So big data is available in the cloud. So how do I do that? So the better, you need to have one more ETL tool. This ETL tool is by Microsoft Azure and which is got released in year 2015. Okay, this got released in 2015. So we will be able to store this data. Now remember, even ADF can go and get the data. It can also get the data. There is no problem at all. And I can also give the data to this. There is no issue at all. Clear? When you have the data either in the data warehousing in big data cloud or Hadoop somewhere, now on this, what normally we do? We do two kind of things. One is called artificial intelligence, AI or BI is going to be happening. Why are we getting the data, storing the data, because the companies wanted to end of the day work with the data. Two things. One is called AI. AI means prediction. BI means understanding the past. Clear? I wanted to know what was my sales or what was my feedback. I wanted to know uh, that was BA, right? So Amazon company wanted to understand Apple 14 sales and it reviews on camera. So camera, everybody is seeing 3.5 rating out of 5. Like that, Amazon company wanted to understand the rating of, Apple iPhone review. But reviews are not available in single place. I can give the review in Facebook. I can give a review on the WhatsApp also. So when you see WhatsApp data, I am telling my friend, Array friend, I have taken in yesterday, Apple iPhone 15 and Pro, and the camera is amazing. It was excellent. I have given a feedback in WhatsApp to my friend. Now this data is not yours, is not your friends, it is there in the WhatsApp. Like that, many people would have given the rating in the WhatsApp about the Apple iPhone, 15 or 14 model. This data will be purchased by the Amazon company or the Apple iPhone company from Facebook, saying that, so this, this is the feedback I got it. So this is a social media data. The Apple iPhone company wanted to understand how many people said average camera here, not very good. How many people said excellent camera? Amazon, super pics. So super excellent means rating 5. Average means 3. It is very good means 4. Like that, they will be calculating these words and they will be trying to understand. But how Apple company got the feedback? So I did not give the feedback to Apple company, but how did they know that it is in camera is not good? Because you and me chatting in the WhatsApp, you and me chatting in the Facebook, you and me giving the rating in the Amazon company reviews, you and me are giving the ratings in the Flipkart or maybe Walmart or maybe somewhere in the social media, Instagram. We have given the rating. All the rating of Apple iPhone got collected from the social media, and they're able to understand. Everybody is telling, camera is good, or everybody is telling camera is average level, so that I need to increase that. Clear? So all the, feedback and everything will be, taken, and it will be able to understand. So predictions can, you can understand the how the what do you say? You're talking about the camera rating. So at the same time, they wanted to also understand what was my sales and what would be my sales. That is also I want to understand, right? So I wanted to do a lot of predictions on this data. So here I wanted to do a lot of predictions. Predictions, how do you do it? So you're going to be taking the data from the data warehousing or from the big data. You are going to be predicting. So what would be my sales in next year? I would like to predict something. A lot of things we can predict with the data. How is the buying pattern? What kind of a models they're buying and more and more. If I increase like that, decrease like that, what will happen? All the predictions you will be able to do with the historical data. So end of the day, you're going to be getting the data, collecting the data, cleaning the data, storing the data, either in the big data Hadoop or maybe in the Spark Scala or maybe Databricks. So Databricks means what you need to understand. Databricks means internally Spark and Scala, and internally you need to have Hadoop only. Enter of the thing, so it is going to be having. So you will be able to load the data with the help of ADF and with the help of this. So that can be done. So this is how the complete life cycle. So end of the day, you are going to be giving the data to the AI and BI team. So you are called as. So when you do all these activities, like get the data, clean the data, store the data, and load the data, you are going to be called as a data engineer. Okay, so you're going to be called as a data engineer. So what are the technologies that you need to know? Compulsorily SQL you need to know. Compulsorily, if you wanted to deal with some kind of a programming, Python you need to know in case of data bricks. Otherwise, Python is not needed. Clear? So, and what all you need to learn if you wanted to, run with the, ETL, what all we have, if you know SSIS, that is good, or you need to learn ADF. Clear? So SSIS and ADF you have to know. And Big data concept. What is a big data? How do you store the data? In the big data, we will be learning Spark and Scala. And today, big data is nothing but your data bricks. Clear? So all these things you will be learning as a data engineer. So these are the things that you're going to be learning for the next 60 days. So every month only 20 days means 20, 20, 20, 3 months it will be. Clear? So these are the things you have to learn if you want to become a data engineer. So data warehousing concept also, I forgot. Data warehousing, you should know SQL, Python, ETL, SSIS if you know ADF. If you don't know SSIS, right away you can learn ADF. So they, anyhow, if you want to deal with the large amount of data, we are going to be also implementing data bricks here to store the data, to process the data, blah, blah, blah. So along with the ADF, you will also trying to work with the data bricks. Clear? So data engineering means you can only learn ADF and leave it. That is 30 days. Only SQL you should know. Only SQL you should know, or you will be able to, sir, I would like to get into ADF and data bricks and big data and data warehousing, ETL, SQL. I wanted to learn everything, sir. So that is also fine. Lot of job opportunities worldwide, I'm telling you. Clear? So anybody can learn this course. There is no issue at all. If you have a gap also, there is no problem at all. So you start from SQL. You need to buy MySQL videos and daily SQL Server videos I'll give you. Daily you need to watch one video and you will be able to complete this course in 30 hours. If you wanted to stop SQL and Python, you can have it. If you have a Power BI, so you can also include Power BI. So SQL now, data warehousing now. We will have a data warehousing also in this. Now, apart from that, you'll also learn what is a data lake, Blob, Azure SQL Cloud. Then SSIS now, Power BI. If you learn Power BI, and if you learn Data Factory, you will become a data engineer and a data analytics. Power BI means data analytics. Data engineering means what? SQL, data warehousing, SSIS, and ADF. Clear? If you don't know SSIS, at least SQL, data warehousing, ADF. So this will give you data engineering role. If you learn, Power BI, it is a 45 days course. And the next batch is going to be starting from the July 1st morning, 8 o'clock. You can call my team, for the further details. So if you learn all of them, you will become a data analyst. So when you include this one also, you will become a big data engineer and you can become a data analyst also. Big data engineer means you should know big data concept, that is data bricks. If you learn a data bricks, we will be able to understand Hadoop, Spark and Scala, Scala language, Spark, PySpark means Python and Spark, right? And SQL with Spark, all of them you will be able to learn. So this is, so you will learn ADB, data bricks. You can become a not only data engineer, it is a big data engineer, right? So if you wanted to focus only data engineering, you can forget about it. We can go. But I wanted to also complete this means Power BI you can learn. So data engineer, and you can also become data analyst or data, you know, analytical guy. So only data engineering 3 months course it is, because it will take 30 days to complete, 30 hours. It will take, another 30 hours to complete. We are going to be giving you one project assignment, daily assignments are going to be there. CV preparation, I'll be taking care. I'll give you sample CVs and everything. Interview questions are going to be given. 80% of the interview questions are from our syllabus only. Clear? You put 3 years or 5 years of experience in the data bricks or data factory. So most of the questions are going to be coming from our syllabus only. Am I clear? And we are going to be giving you light touch on the DevOps, CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Clear? So this is also you need to know. So any non-IT people, any age, 10 years of gap also if you have, you can get into this kind of a technologies. So you need to learn SQL. SQL videos you need to purchase from us, and you need to learn daily one video. If you have any doubts in the SQL videos, you can ask me any day so that I will give you a good clarification. SQL software also you have to install. And Python also, I am not going to be teaching. Either you need to buy the videos from us or you can learn the Python from anywhere. So Python 30% of basic Python, if you know, that is sufficient. Those Python is going to be used in the Azure Data Bricks. Clear? So Python is going to be used in the Azure Data Bricks. So if you don't need Data Bricks, you forget about it. You can join Azure Data Factory 30 years. It is a no coding and a low coding tool. SQL, you need to know that's it. SQL, ADF you can learn, and data warehousing I will be able to give you for free. Data warehousing will be 10 hours. Clear? So data warehousing videos also we are going to be giving you for free for 10 hours. So if you wanted to learn, you can learn SQL. So any non-IT people can learn this, and the data warehousing videos I will be able to give you. This will be live classes, and this is also video classes you need to purchase. Call these numbers so that they will be able to tell you. So the videos, the SQL videos also available in Telugu and English language. You can practice whatever convenient for you. So you can complete. So after that, you take a break, then join Azure Data Bricks. That is also fine. You can complete. So you can prepare the CV, SQL, data warehousing, Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Bricks. Then you can become a big data engineer. Normal data engineer means anybody can become a data engineer if you know one ETL, if you know one data warehousing, if you know SQL, you will become a data engineer. But when you have a big data concept, means when you have data bricks, you will become a big data engineer. If you also learn Power BI, then data engineer can also work as a data analyst. Clear? So remember one thing, data engineers are going to be supplying the data to the, you know, to the data analyst. Remember this point. So data analytics, if you wanted to do it, so data engineers have to supply the data work. This is what is called data preparation. So then only you will be able to create a lot of reports with the Power BI. You will become a data analyst. So data engineering means what all the tools you need to learn. Earlier SQL, now one ETL and the data warehousing and a data modeling. And here Power BI you will be able to learn. And this is what is the 3 months course. Many people are learning and getting their jobs. And this is a normal data engineering, right? So now we are talking about data engineering for the big data. So today you can also work with the data analytics, but now I am talking about big data here, only structured data in this case. Only structured data you will be able to take and create a lot of data analytics on that. But now we are talking about structured data, unstructured data, we are talking about semi-structured data, and here we are going to be learning few more tools extra. Clear? You can also become a data engineer here. So by learning SQL, ETL, and data warehousing, data modeling, we are learning here data bricks. So we are learning here a big data concept. That is something extra. We are learning Python language. Clear? And if you learn Power BI, so you can also become what big data engineer, and plus you can also become what is called as a Power BI developer. So this is a 3 months course, and it will take Power BI 1 more month or 1.5 month. It will become at least 4 months course. Clear? So instead of reporting, what I do? So I don't want to go into reporting. So I wanted to go into, let us say, AI or ML I am going to be learning. You can do everything. So here it is 18 months course. So data engineering, nothing about data preparation, all of them you need to know. So AI and ML algorithms. So you're going to be learning a lot of AI and the predictions algorithms. Clear? So here also you will be able to learn AI or ML. Clear? It is also 18 months course. Clear? So everything is the common, everything is the same as it is. So data engineering is the common for everybody. Whether you want to become a AI or ML guy tomorrow, only thing is that these are the common. So extra things you need to understand AI, artificial intelligence algorithms, predictions models you need to learn. This will take let us say 3 months. This will take another 12 months to 15 months. Clear? So that is what you got to understand. End of the day, so data engineering team is going to be giving the data to the AI or ML team. So or you people will be giving the data to the data analytics team also. Data may be anywhere. So data may be in Excel, data may be in SQL, data may be in Hadoop, or data may be in data warehousing. Data may be anywhere. You may be having data in Excel or a text files. That is fine. You may be having the data in SQL. You may be having the data in the data warehouse, but till this is structured data. Right? We are going to be having data maybe in the big data. Big data means you need to understand Hadoop or Spark or Scala or Databricks. Clear? So this is here we're talking about unstructured data or semi-structured data. It is also can have structured data. Remember, it can also have structured data, but especially unstructured data, semi-structured data, even structured data also you can have it here. So in these applications, you will be able to perform two things. One is called AI or BI. So today, all the data, either in the data warehousing or in the big data Hadoop or in anywhere, this data will be historical data, not that fresh data. Historical data is going to be there. So you need to understand like that. So AI and BI is going to be running today because of this data. IT industry is going to be storing the data only in this. There is no other way. There is no other place where you will be able to store the data. Clear? Either in Excel or in SQL. SQL means Oracle SQL Server, or maybe in the data warehousing, or maybe in the big data Hadoop, Spark, Scala, or Databricks. Am I clear? So all of them can be on premises, all of them can be cloud technologies. So Excel can be on premises, on cloud. SQL can be on premises, on cloud. Data warehousing can be on premises, on cloud. Big data on premises, on cloud. So understand what is a cloud, what is on premises. You have to watch yesterday's video clearly so that you will be able to understand it easily. So why companies are going to store the data? So AI can be used to predict the data. On the historical data only, we can do the predictions. So BI means business intelligence. BI is also called as a data analytics. Clear? So data analytics can be done on this data. So this will give you understanding of the past. BI data analytics means AI can predict the data in the future. Predictions means future. So AI means only it can predict the futures. Clear? So predictions can be there in the future. AI can be the predictions. Clear? But today we have Chat GPT. We have all of them are available, right? So those are called generative AI. Those are not going to be predicting something. So these are also AI application. Generative AI is the new concept got released into the market. Gen AI. So it is going to be generating some text. So when you ask a question, it will give you answer, right? So tell me something about Bhaskar Jogi. It will tell you what about Bhaskar Jogi reviews and everything, right? So all the data it is going to be getting from where? All my reviews are going to be stored in the big data Hadoop, Spark, Scala. So Chart GPT application is getting the data from the Hadoop only. Clear? So what is the size? Microsoft were telling it was 500 or more than that petabyte of data. It is, as I told you yesterday, if you burn into DVDs, it will become 30 Himalayas size. So what is the size of this data we're talking about? 30 Himalayas size. That kind of a data you and me cannot store. Even State Bank of India, ICICI Bank also cannot store. You need to have a large data centers, a large cloud infrastructure, on-premises infrastructure you can have. So large amount of data you will not be able to run very, very easily. So AI applications needs a large amount of data. So that data is going to be stored where? Big data Hadoop or big data, Spark and Scala or big data, Databricks only. Clear? So Chart GPT is generative AI. It is not going to be doing any predictions. Normally, AIs are going to be doing predictions. Clear? So generative AI, your Gemini, Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot or Chat GPT 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, current version is 4.0. All these are connected to your big data. So who's going to be supplying the data to the chat GPT? A data engineer. Clear? So data engineer team has to be there. So without data, IT industry is not there. Without data, chat GPT is not there. Without data, AI is not there. BI is not there. Remember, even though everybody is saying AI will automate everything, you lose the job. But if you are in the data side, you will get more jobs. Okay. If you need any training on the data, so come to us. We will be able to give you the complete architecture about data. So we will help you from very, very starting level to advanced level of data oriented concepts. So this is what is the all about data engineering. Clear? So if there is a data, AI can implement, AI can automate something, or BI can do something. If there is no data, forget about AI, forget about BI. So AI needs the data. You will get more and more job offers in the data engineering role. Clear? Any non-IT people can get into this kind of a roles, and a minimum 3 to 6 months time you need to have it. So already you're working somewhere. You just learn at least ADF. So which is no coding, a low coding program. Within 30 days, you will be able to become a beautiful, Azure Data Factory engineer along with the SQL data warehousing concept. If you have a Power BI, that is fine. Clear? So we are going to be starting Azure Data Factory probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I don't know. So today you will be able to get the payment link. If you make the payment, new meeting ID will be given. This meeting ID is not going to work. So you will be able to continue from then. Okay. So we are going to be talking about a lot of other things later. So if you have any questions, you will be able to ask me. ADF 30 hours, ADE, Azure Data Engineering 60 hours, ADB and ADVF will get covered. Monday to Friday, we'll have classes. So prerequisite SQL is important, and 6 months is the validity for the course. If you make the payment, you can complete the course within 6 months. Daily recorded videos are going to be given. If you miss any class, you can also get the video in the portal. You will be able to access these videos up to 6 months of time. After that, if you wanted to still continue, you will be able to ask my team. You will have some renewal amount, very limited amount, 100 rupees or 300 rupees will be there. You can just renew for a couple of months and extend the videos for a couple of months, and you will be able to understand it. Sample CV preparation, online lab support, interview questions, everything are going to be discussed. Placement assistance and support can be given within India. There is no issue at all. So yesterday I spoken about what is on premises, what is a cloud. So watch that video. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. So you can become a data scientist, you can become a data analyst, you can become a data engineer also. So, but instead of data analyst or data science, and you can become a data engineer, because we are the people, we are supplying the data to the data analyst or data engineer. AI can automate everything, but AI cannot automate data engineers. So you will have more and opportunities. So try to become a data analyst. So ADF is released in 2015. We will be able to understand this later. So which is a ETL tool. It can get the data from different places and put the data into anywhere, wherever you wanted to have. It can pick, keep the data. So we can also talk about what is a data lake and a blob, and it can also deal with the big data, a lot of things it can do, and easy when compared with SSIS because no coding, no programming is needed. SQL is the backbone for the ADF or Azure. Clear? So disadvantage of SSIS cannot load semi-structured data and structured data, not suitable for a cloud, not suitable for big data, limited data sources, on-premises solution. It is not a cloud. Clear? So I think we'll continue. So I don't know when is the this batch is going to be starting. So the demos are got over, and if you make the payment, so probably today, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will start this batch. Same timing will be there, and if it is if you have any time issues, call my team and they will be able to tell you. If you're not able to attend live classes, at least take the videos and practice them. And if you have any doubts, you will be able to, connect with me directly also. So I have given my number, right? So what is my number? So if you have any doubts, so you can reach me on this number directly. This is my office number. So you can reach me for your all clarifications. So if you need one-to-one career guidance also, you can reach me. Anybody can get into data analytics or data engineering. Don't go into data science or AI and ML. It is more complicated than these languages. Okay. na? Chalo guys, thank you so much. Any questions?
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
You can stop recording, sir. It's normal.